I actually was never involved in politics. I never really thought I would be. Growing up, I always thought I was going to go into the healthcare field, and I was focused on science throughout most of high school. And in high school, I started picking up some business as well, but I hadn't gone like too much in depth on it yet. I just volunteered for a couple organizations, and I was mostly focused on business and science, and I didn't know I was going to go into politics. So my decision to come to Berkeley was mostly focused around one of the best science programs and one of the top business programs in the nation. And when I got in, I was very excited because it was a great school with a great program in a good location with like near a city with a lot of things to do. So I grew up in Chicago, so I wanted to go to school near a city with a wide variety of people and food and culture and everything. And I felt like this would be the perfect place for me to go to college. But yeah, I never anticipated that I would get involved in politics once I came to Berkeley. I believe it was about around the time of Trump's election when I saw the entire campus very like engaged in politics, and I'd never seen this before. So back home, people are mostly center left, center right, based on what the policy is. They lean to different candidates, but over here, I saw a large group of people all personally motivated to fight for one particular position, like to fight for their own liberal like position or liberal side that it may be. And then on the other side, I saw a small group of conservative students that were almost fighting back against them. And I hadn't really experienced this kind of political action, especially from people my age before. And I felt that that was something very powerful. So I kind of looked into a little bit more here at Berkeley. But then with the attacks, or well, yeah, with I guess the Antifa riots in February at the appearance of Milo Yiannopoulos in our campus, that was when I decided like I needed to get involved. So on this day, I was actually in an interview for a business club across the street at a cafe. And I was sitting there in the middle of my interview and we hear shots. And I initially thought that these were gunshots. So everyone got scared, the entire place was on lockdown, and I basically just stayed inside the cafe for hours afterward. Then, once everything seemed to die down, there wasn't much noise coming from outside anymore. I went outside and went across the street, and I saw the entire student union building just destroyed. And there were gates thrown through the windows, and there was a generator on fire with a tree that got caught, and it looked like pictures of things that you see after like major riots on TV. And I had no idea that something like this would ever happen so close to me. And to have it be about like politics and because people were disagreeing about a certain topic. Now granted, Milo Yiannopoulos' form of communication is not something that I ever advocate for or feel is appropriate, but I didn't think the appropriate response was to destroy school property or the property of local businesses around the area. And that really motivated me to kind of learn more about what is going on in our political space and also take action to see where I could fit in and help. So around this time is when we started BridgeUSA. And actually a week later, we held our first event discussing free speech and Milo Yiannopoulos coming to campus. And this was like my first actual interaction with something political, and I truly felt that it was important because I saw people of all different sides and all different beliefs come to one room and discuss their point of view and kind of argue with each other, but still in a very respectful manner. And this is what I felt like politics should be. This is what I felt like our political culture should be moving towards. And here I saw like the importance of getting involved in politics because everyone has points of views that they want to share, but only a few actually take action on it. And I feel like bringing more people into the discussion is the perfect way to help move our political culture forward. I have seen people get attacked for their point of view just for it being different from another person. And I feel like that is very counterintuitive and goes against the exact, or the, I feel like it goes against the way that our nation was set up and our democracy was set up, because this is, does not include like every single person. This is not a democracy. In this way, this will not be a democracy for like everyone. When people are attacked for their point of view, I feel like this is excluding people from the political process, because people don't feel like sharing, people don't feel like contributing, they don't feel like their point of view matters in this particular space. Take, for example, like Berkeley, where you have many liberal students, conservative students feel like they do not have a voice. If you go to a different place, say in like Texas, where it's very conservative, liberal students may feel like they don't have a voice. And I feel like there should not be this clear separation between people, and this political polarization is like something that is really going to detract from our society and our political process.
How close to your heart is it now?
I feel like I've become extremely passionate about this. I spend a lot of my time every week focused on like things with Bridge, bringing people together to find solutions. And I feel like I'm passionate about this because I believe the things that you learn through this process are important in every facet of life. No matter where you go, what job you have, like I picture myself in a business career, and I'm going to have to deal with people that disagree with me every single day, that have different political motivations, that have different social motivations within the workplace. No matter where you go, you're going to have to learn to work with people that disagree with you and that have different beliefs than you. And I think that if you discount someone else simply because they belong to another political party, you are already breaking down a relationship that before it even starts. You are shutting people out and closing yourself off from almost half the nation, no matter where you are, because of something that is like just a name. And I feel like that is wrong, and that is going to lead to so many issues in our society. Like, I remember reading something just recently where it says that people feel like those on the other side of the spectrum or that are of a different party are not part, or they view them very unfavorably and not even as part of like a different nation almost. And I think that shouldn't be true. I feel like I want a country that is united, and whether we disagree on political party or not, people should be able to still work together, go out and get dinner together, have a beer together after a day of work, even if they disagree, even if they belong to different political parties. And I don't think that your personal political identification should break down your sense of community. And I think that's something, community is something that's very important. Family is something that's very important to me, and I feel like bringing political division into like every aspect of our interactions with others is only going to lead to the fall of our democracy. We believe that the best way to have an impact on our democracy is by investing in the future of our democracy. So the goal with working with college students and getting student leaders involved is that these will be the leaders in the future. These will be the political leaders in, say, 10, 20 years. And I believe that if we teach students right now, when they're first forming their political points of view, when they're just now outside of their houses and their parents' like political beliefs and creating their own points of view and learning about the world, this is the perfect time to teach students to engage with multiple points of view, to encourage like discussion and debate in determining their own point of view, challenging their points of view and those of others to develop nuance to their beliefs. So by teaching our future leaders and getting students involved in politics, I believe that BridgeUSA can have a much larger impact on politics and the political process. So we also believe that like students right now are not really active in the political space. In the last midterm elections, I believe it was like less than 1/3 of people voted, and I feel like students and young people really need to get involved in politics in order to make a difference in our nation. And many students I know feel or have positions, and students want things to happen, but rarely do you see those same students involved in politics trying to make that change that they see, or trying to make the change that they want happen. So I believe that BridgeUSA focus, like our focus, is on getting students involved, because that is the best way for us to create an impact and to help change the way, or change the political division that is currently in our nation.